Okay, good morning again. Powerful things going on. Again, today we're honoring the request to hold a prayer gathering for the start of a new era and a new history, and also remembering and commemorating the 13th anniversary of the Holy Ascension of our True Father. Last week, I had lots of terrible news. I heard from Satish just about a murder that happened in Dallas, Texas. We know about the assassination of a conservative young person, leader in the conservative movement, especially on college campuses, 31 years old, married with 2 young children. Assassinated because they didn't like his point of view. And then we have the horrendous, random murder of a Ukrainian refugee from the war in Ukraine, just murdered in the subway or bus or train. And also last week we remembered 9/11. The largest terrorist event that ever happened in America. Almost 3,000 people died at that time. And even in our own movement in the past year, couple of years, we've seen unbelievable persecution from the Japanese government. And even recently from the newly elected government in Korea, persecuting our movement, but any church that had anything to do with the previous administration in Korea. That's shocking to see those kinds of things could actually be happening in this time. And so you heard in the prayers and the call for support. But I can never forget Pastor Thompson when he came back from his visit to Korea. Our regional leader brought all of the coordinators to Korea. And he was expecting, there's going to be lots of doom and gloom, and, we're going to have to encourage Holy Mother Han. But she was so bright. She said, the future is fantastic. He said, even the lawyers were kind of like, tone it down, tone it down. But she's so full of optimism. He says, it wasn't what I was expecting. She's so determined to bring about the victory for God in this time. And so she wants to encourage us. So this prayer gathering is specifically for that purpose, to reinforce in us the connection to God, our Heavenly Parent, but also with each other. And the theme for the talk was harmony and peace, cultivating harmony and peace in our lives. So I'm going to share, the video showed a lot of the content from the prayer gathering, but I'm going to use Reverend Song Young-do, who's now the International Director of World Missions, the sermon that he gave, the message that he gave. And I just pulled some bits and pieces to share. So it's not my sermon, but I'm going to try to do my best to share it. But the theme is harmony and peace. As you heard in the video, Holy Mother Han, just in the middle of last month, in August, proclaimed the opening of the new era and a new history. Quite optimistic and hopeful and positive. And just a few days later, to all the young people at the Pure Water workshop, all these young people who were preparing to become leaders in the future, she called them out and gave them a mission, and she gave them a blessing. She said, I pray that you will become majestic trees, deeply rooted in Chon-il-guk. Chon-il-guk meaning God's heavenly kingdom. Growing into great trees that can embrace all humanity and be cherished by the world. The analogy of the tree, in order for it to grow, to be a big and magnificent and towering presence, it has to have deep and strong roots that go deep and go wide. And trees grow stronger even in harsh environments. They dig their roots deeper and deeper, finding water and stability. And they develop a strong vitality that prevents them from being overcome by storms and hardships, and weather, and all the things that can attack. Same thing. Holy Mother Hans encouraging us to dig our roots deep. And taking the analogy further is to think the tree is made up of all kinds of different parts, right? We have the roots, we have the trunk, we have the branches and leaves, but they all work together, excuse me, in a mutually beneficial relationship. Often we talk about in the unification principle, each of us has two purposes: the individual purpose and the larger whole purpose. The individual purpose is, I need to take care of myself. I need to be responsible for my health. I need to brush my teeth in the morning. No one else is going to do it for me. Amen? I'm going to exercise, eat well, take good care of my health. But the purpose for doing that is not just so that I'm healthy. The purpose is so that I have more power and ability to make an impact, a positive influence at the larger level. The whole purpose. True fulfillment in our life comes when we're making a difference at the larger level. The whole purpose. This is the principle of mutually beneficial relationships. So just in the process of growth, Holy Mother Hana is encouraging us, blessed families and members and all the providential organizations and ambassadors for peace and all those connected us to unite and advance together with the theme of harmony and peace. As we overcome trials and difficulties and even our own selfish human nature, right? Our faith will grow stronger and deeper. Our roots will become stronger. And it's important for us to remember that no matter how externally successful we are or prosperous we may be or how smart we are or degrees that we have, God is our root. God and our true parents are the foundation and origin for our strength. And to truly develop harmony and peace, we need to get back to the root. Heavenly Parent is always with us, constantly watching over us. Sometimes we don't think about it. Sometimes we forget and we get overcome by fear or concern or confusion. Even when we feel like we're standing alone, the truth is that we're continually in relationship with God. And God wants to nourish us. And the deeper we dig those roots and the more confident we are in our relationship with God as our Heavenly Parent and with our true parents, the more we can blossom into trees that can bear great fruit and make a powerful difference in the world and not be shaken or disturbed by any of the external environment. Milhan encourages us to focus on harmony. When I think about harmony, I think about music, right? There's so many different instruments or voices and tones, but weaving together to create a beautiful masterpiece. This is God's design, amazing design. And at the root, the thing that brings all that together is the conductor. And who's the conductor? It's God, our Heavenly Parent. So, even if there's conflict or discord, that's not the only thing we have to deal with. Harmony brings not just the end of discord or confusion. It means creating a powerful realm of wholeness and oneness where everything fits together. God's designed us amazingly, to have this relationship with God as our Heavenly Parent, to have a relationship with the people around us, a harmonious relationship, and a harmonious relationship with our amazing creation that we're surrounded by. All these relationships require respect and love. So, this is from the book of Matthew. Jesus is encouraging the disciples. This is from the 23rd verse. If you are offering your gift at the altar, and there remember your brother has something against you, leave your gift there in front of the altar. First go and be reconciled to your brother. Then come and offer your gift. So before we can truly draw close to God, our Heavenly Parent, we have to restore our relationships with each other. Holy Mother Hana is concerned and investing in reminding us that our unity is the key to power, key to strength, key to growth and fulfillment in this world. So harmony and peace can be realized when we fulfill our responsibility, when we connect with God as our Heavenly Parent, and when we practice unconditional, true love, investing in others. Jesus, at the Sermon on the Mount, this is part of the Beatitudes, he said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called the children of God." Now, an important understanding here is the word peace, the Hebrew word is shalom. And the shalom doesn't mean just peace, like peace and quiet. Nobody's bothering me, right? Shalom includes the vision of wholeness, of harmony, and a right relationship with things, particularly a right relationship with God as our Heavenly Parent. Again, reading from Holy Mother Han, those who bring harmony and those who make peace are precisely the ones needed in this age. When we fulfill our responsibilities and put true love into practice, then we become a living testimony of what it means to be true sons and daughters of Chanroguk, of the Heavenly Kingdom. Harmony and peace are crucial virtues for us in the practice of true love. When we realize that in our life, harmony and peace, this is the thing. Harmony and peace is how we can truly find fulfillment in our lives. Now, after hearing about, harmony and peace, let's have harmony and peace, I don't know about you, but I struggle sometimes having harmony and peace. It's not such an easy, it's an easy thing to say, it's not always an easy thing to do. Important power of relationship, communication, give and take brings healing in the world. So in Reverend Du, he brings up the story about Joseph. Joseph was the favorite son of Jacob. There's the last chapters, like from the 37th chapter of the book of Genesis, tells the story of Jacob's son Joseph. And it reads like a telenovela soap opera or a Korean drama or something. I mean, so many ups and downs. Joseph's brothers, because he's favored by his father, all become jealous of him. So jealous that they even decide to kill him. They throw him into a deep pit into the ground. And there he's in this pit, damp and cold, afraid, probably hungry, feeling, even despair. Imagine being in that pit when the people that are supposed to be closest to you, your brothers, thrown you away. How much despair he must have felt, but also feeling resentment. Why did my brothers do this to me? Such a difficult circumstance. The story of Joseph is quite powerful. In fact, they've made movies of it. A great musical. I encourage you, the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. The great musical, great songs. They even have a video, a movie of the musical. They have animated versions too. But there's a great song in that. It's called Close Every Door. Beautiful song. Where he's singing, close every door to me. Do this, do that, whatever to me. But it doesn't matter. Children of Israel are never alone. Such a beautiful thought. And this is the sentiment that he carried that took him through being sold off as a slave, being thrown into prison, and finally becoming prime minister in Egypt. What an amazing course. What an amazing journey that he went through. And it was because he had that strong root foundation of faith and trust. So we, in our lives, continuing to deepen that connection with God, our Heavenly Parent. One of the most powerful ways we do that is through our prayer life and praying. That's why this is a prayer gathering, to focus on prayer. Going back to Joseph, now he's prime minister, right? And then there's a famine in the land. And so all his brothers come to Egypt, begging for food, right? They're desperate. And Joseph has a chance to get his revenge on them, right? If he had burning revenge in his heart, wow, that's the great opportunity. And he does pull a couple of tricks on them. But it's amazing to see that because remembering the love of his father, that foundation, and knowing God's plan had taken him and brought him to this incredible position where he could be a blessing to his own family, his trust and belief in God gave him the heart to forgive and to love. Even in spite of all that they'd done, instead of having anger and resentment, he was able to have love and forgiveness. So the same thing in our own lives. This story tells us that no matter what trials or challenges or difficulties we face, when we root ourselves in the experience of God's unconditional love, His absolute commitment to us, then we can turn division into harmony. We can turn conflict into peace. We can achieve these values rooted in the experience with God. Holy Mother Han proclaimed the opening of a new era and a new history. So today's special worship service is to encourage us to actively create peace by concretely practicing the core value of love, and especially connecting to God as our Heavenly Parent. In our daily lives, we have many opportunities to practice and to multiply peace and harmony. We're being called not only the expression, peace starts with me, but harmony also starts with me. And we take even our small practices of helping each other, making a small difference within our family, within our neighborhood, our friends, at church, our workplace, the people that we go to school with. Loving and being able to forgive each other and working together for the bigger vision of peace. This is how we become a powerful agent of harmony and healing and peace in the world. So Holy Mother Han is encouraging us to reach out to each other, to reach out to the people in our lives, to help them connect to God as our Heavenly Parent, to know and experience the God that wants to pour out in each one of us in our lives. And we're in a new era, a new time, a new history. God needs the people that will take the initiative to reach out to others, to make the connections. So the conclusion of this is that let's determine ourselves to be instruments of harmony and peace in our home, community, work, school. God needs us. God needs us. So, we're going to sing the holy song, Pledge. This song was written by a long time ago, in the early days of the movement, when the church was still just a hut made out of cardboard. And this professor, she's a professor of music at a Christian college. And she hears that her relatives are getting somehow involved with this group. So she comes with the purpose, I've got to, stir them up. I got to save them. Got to take them away. So she goes there, and she's going to convince them. So she's listening to these lectures, teaching of the unification principle. She says, I'm going to prove him wrong, right? I'm going to show him. And she has an amazing, transformative experience where God speaks to her deeply and powerfully in her heart and mind. And she realizes what God is calling her to do, to take up responsibility. So follow along with the song. Even if you don't know it, you could read along. We're going to use this song as a preparation for prayer. So we'll sing this song. And I encourage you, as you're singing it, you saw in the video, a lot of times we're sitting there like this or like this. But let's sing it with our hands up. If you feel really enthusiastic, you can put your hands over your head. But even if you just hold it at your waist, just in a way to receive, and feel like you're able to receive, even in meditation, when you just have your hands, I'm willing to receive. So I encourage you. So after that song, we'll have 3 minutes of just unison prayer. And I encourage you to pray out loud. We're not doing resonance prayer. You don't need to scream. But when you speak out loud, even we hear it. And it generates more power when we pray. And particularly the theme of our prayer is, how can I become a more powerful instrument of harmony and peace in the world and the environment around us? So, you have the clicker?